Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yuzral, the game is World of Warships. It is Monday, it is the 30th of October 2017. It is 1900 Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Coordinated Time, depends on your point of view. It is 2000 on the Western continent, 2100 I think somewhere east of the Rhine and onwards, maybe a bit further. I'm not actually sure whether the split between GMT +1 and GMT +2 happens on the continent, and if you're in the US, it is frankly still worryingly close to the middle of the working day. I'm so sorry, guys. However, Shipstream, I can't put this off any longer. I've been delaying and delaying and delaying. I've been potatoing along. I've been bribing my way up to the top, but I can't hold this off. It can't go on. I've got to start getting good at US battleships because, ladies and gentlemen, I finally got my hands on the moneymaker BB-63, the Missouri, aka the Misery, aka the Trumpwagen, aka the moneymaker. Oh yes, folks, 750,000 free XP. Most of it has to be said, I pulled up the hard way. There was only about 100,000 or so involved by way of bribery to wargaming. So, why is she so special? Well, for one thing, she remains the only battleship to have surface search radar. So 9.45 kilometers, up to 4 charges with premium and superintendent. A very nasty surprise if you're not ready for it. Less so than it used to be, of course, because Missouri's been in the game for a while and, well, people know about it. She also has US battleship anti-air, because this is a Iowa-class battleship BB-63, Iowa, of course, being BB-61. I forget who 62 and 64 are. I'm sure someone will pop it in chat sooner or later. However, flak 10 double-barreled 5-inch turrets. These are, of course, also the secondary battery. There they are, nicely parked along the side. 80 40mm Bofors Mark II batteries, 382 DPS at 5 kilometers once you upgrade them, and if there's anything still alive once it gets to 3,000 meters, they get to meet the 58 20mm Oerlikon barrels. So just waiting to introduce them to Uncle Sam's finest variety of rapid-fire freedom. The main armament is the same as the Iowa, unsurprisingly, 16-inch L50, 406 L50 Mark 7 guns, 3 turrets, 2 forward, 2 aft, 3 guns in each turret for a total of 9 rifles pointed at whatever is unfortunate enough to be downrange. And the principal paint jobs, well, she actually comes with 2 premium camos. The first one is the what used to be the standard American. This is the same paint scheme you get on Atlanta. I believe it's measure 32. I could be wrong there, but it's the Type 10 camo. Unusually, however, it is plus 100% XP. When this came out, that was the best non-doubloon camo in the game. Certainly it was better. Most premium camos still only give you plus 50%. What she also has, and what a lot of people go for, is the measure 22 camo. This two-tone, slightly curved to match the horizon, pale blue and dark blue, as well as a dark blue deck to avoid the attentions of unwanted aircraft. Not that anyone was still alive by the time they actually got to this kind of angle, and even if they were, the giant frickin' stars and stripes plus the big number 63 on the number 1 turret does rather give it away. Additionally, Missouri was the scene of the signing of the Japanese surrender, and you've got the little table there just on the forward. I actually don't know what that deck level is called. Upper forward deck, I suppose, is as good a description. Anyway, upper gun deck? No, well, no, because the upper gun deck's over here, along with all these, well, guns. That's why it's got the name. There's also the cook wandering around. Don't worry, he's harmless. Mostly harmless. Unless you say something nasty about his good friend Vlad, at which point there will be much kung fu and much pain. So let's just switch over, plug in some flags, so we'll have a Kraken. We want some cash, of course, because more money and less problems. So we'll just cheat down the service, slap on a Zulu, and also just pull on More cash, more cash, more cash. We'll also pop on an India Delta to boost the repair party. Could slap on Sierra Mike, make her the fastest battleship in the game. Like her sister Iowa, she does 33 knots. Like her sister Iowa, she turns like a brick. That 15.5-second rudder traverse, yeah, that's with the rudder shift upgrades, I should add. I have got this thing equipped with steering gears mod 2, so, yes, this thing does not turn very well at all. Yeah, Dach, it is me tweaking my stream time, so yay! I'm glad someone approves, although it appears to have caught everyone else somewhat by surprise. I did announce it yesterday, doesn't seem to have gone down very well. Okay, so, other Trick Force Tier 9 US battleship, artillery plotting room mod 2 tightens the dispersion quite noticeably on the main battery. 11% is nothing to sniff at, especially when without it your dispersion is heading north of 280 meters at 23,000 meters, so that is not great accuracy. Right, flags set. Well, almost set. We'll stick on another 5%, take the maximum speed up to 34.6. You think you can run little cruisers? I don't think so, and we'll load in a bit more flak because why not? Okay, and that is 8 signals loaded, camouflage loaded, consumables loaded. I think I have a tendency to forget, but no, not this time. Premium across the board, because you never leave port without a premium damage control party at this tier. Right, there's just one problem. I suck at US battleships, and that's going to be the focus of tonight's stream. Help me get better, guys, because Lord knows I need the help. You think I'm kidding. And oh boy. Okay, well the good news is that there's only 3 destroyers on the enemy team. None of them are Japanese. The bad news is that 2 of them are divvied up. One of them's a black, which means there are going to be nuclear water mines in play. And they've got, well, a Minotaur, a Lion, a Yamato, a Kurfürst. We've got 2 Freddies, Kurfürst Montana, and 1 stupid idiot in a potato battleship. We have got the Days Memes, however, and a pair of Zows, so I think if we can hold the range and burn these guys... Well, the other cruisers can hold the range and burn these guys. I am going to be going super heavy AP most of the way. Okay, and I'm starting off in the middle. Now, I could try to dive south, but I don't want to get too close. What I'm actually going to do is... Oh, thank you, whoever that was. Let's just find out. Thank you, Admiral Fettgeschicht. I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move out at half power. I'm going to turn in behind this pair of Zows and the Shimakaze, hook up with the Currywurst, and basically use the Currywurst as a meat shield. Best rule of not being shot in this game. Don't be the most interesting target. In this case, it's called being reasonably highly angled, and as much as I don't want to give too much broadside, I want to try and make as much northerly progress as I can, except the team has got other ideas. So, let us sail past the Montana. Shimakaze is still loading, although I have to say I can't entirely blame it. No, he is in game. His types are there. He goes. Right, Little Miss Turbo is on the move. So, armor piercing loaded. Course is set. Should be able to clear the Kurfürst before he trades paint. There we go. Just clear each other. What do you know? Germans displaying good road map. Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh dear. Oops. Okay. That won't qualify for one of 20's ship beats, and we have enemy destroyers in B. If there'd been anything else, Shimakaze, well, Blue Paw Wretch would have spotted them by now. Interestingly, I am not spotted. Concealment and stealth spec on this thing, you get down to a detection of 12.2. Not Conqueror grade, but not too shabby either. So, at this point, it is very tempting to do a 180 and tail off after the other guys, but we have got to secure B and preferably dive up to C as well. ideally we'd have the Saint Louis or the Shimakaze doing that, but Shima is diving into B to contest. I should really have High X ready to go on my next salvo, because they're almost certainly going to be shooting at destroyers first. Oh, and there is Mogamin. Right, Little Miss Clumsy, let's see. Time of flight 9 seconds, target speed 35 knots estimated. Aim for 12 seconds time of flight, target Citadel, adjust for turn, rounds out. And let's see what happens. Target was turning far more than expected. Shots missed by a country mile. So, now that I am detected and spotted and someone has got combat locker, right, it was the Curryverse, but that's 420 armor piercing, turn in, try to beat his gun solution. Okay, well, lost 4,000, that's scratch paint, and we do have a spot on the gearing with High X in the breach. Shotgun. And everything went long, he turned in. Fine. Gearing is in smoke. He is also within radar range. So, just cut back, turn in again. Kurfus is going to be lining up his next salvo, but I'm still angled. And, again, lost 7,000, but soaked the worst of it. Reload High X, standby radar. Tell the team on B in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. Hello, little destroyer. Surprise! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, well, yeah, that woke him up. Now you know why I call this thing the Misery, because if you're in a destroyer and one of these things gets close to you, that's pretty much what's coming your way. Now, at least some of those shots came from over that island, and it's 2 clusters of high explosive. Right, just patch that damage. That, I think, is one of their cruisers firing over. And I was hoping... Well, we've broken contact, but I was really, really hoping that I had enough cover to block their shots, but clearly I didn't. Took a bit of a risk there. Right, it's a Hindenburg. Okay, however, here's broadside. My guns are ready to go. Unfortunately, I'm going to be guesstimating this first shot, but he is sailing nice, straight and broadside. And there's a dirty great mountain in the way, and where is that aircraft? Come on. Let's get shifting. Okay, angle on the Curryverse again. I'm still showing him a bit too much beam there. Hindenburg's still trying to light me up. Oh, he just did. What a shame. Oh, well. Only one fire. Ride it out. Of course, he has got a bearing at the moment. Of course, all of those just went long, so yay. Torpedoes are a problem, but only if I get within 6 kilometers. Shimakaze has picked up point B. I think the Hindenburg's the only thing lurking in C. I mean, we've got the Black and the Tashkent accounted for. They're both down south. Most of their battleships are down south. Where is that Hindenburg? Oh, hello, cutie. Oh, you've angled, have you? Fine. Well, I think I can overmatch you on that angle, so let's try it. Well, I wouldn't say that was convincing, but at least it disrupted the cap. Unfortunately, he's firing 203s, which hurt just a bit. So turn away, try to angle up. Secondaries are engaged. I'm angled in with the armour, but that was still more than I'd like to take. Pop another repair party, pull some of this damage back, get the angle round. And he is going to have to stay bow on to me, which means he's out of the cap circle, which is something. Single salvo. Okay, went a bit far forward. I think it over-penetrated. Okay, right, rounds out. Rounds out again, looking for that elusive... Oh, need to turn port hard. I am, of course, looking for that elusive through the Citadel, through the bow Citadel. I should be able to get it. I have 406mm guns. He has, what, a 27mm bow. I should be overmatching that without any difficulty. But random number god says no. Also, oh, are you turning, my friend? That is not a wise decision. Let's just stop those fires. And the Shimakaze blindsided him. Oh, God. Okay. Right, so we have a few moments of peace and quiet while I turn this ship around, loop around the island, and drop into sea. Thank you, Shimakaze. By the way, that was very nicely done. Blue Poor Wretch having a much nicer game of it than I am at the moment. 2 fires, both of them some secondaries. And why, Keith? Thank you very much. I assume the reason why in this case is you like my content, but if you're just here to point and laugh, well, that works as well. Twitch Prime sub, thank you so very much, my friend. Right, okay, 1 trash can at 22 kilometers. Waste of ammunition, frankly, but so is leaving the guns idle. And the mighty Yamato just took down the Zal. Now, here's the question. What is our friend in the Tashkent trying to do? If he dives into B, he's going to die. I mean, there is so much concentrated firepower there that he's just going to get hammered. Meanwhile, I need to thread the needle. She's not fat, it's just burgers and freedom. On the other hand, it looks like he's trying to run north. I mean, he can take the Shimakaze, probably, in a gun duel, although he'll take a beating in the process. And 16-inch guns tend not to do too well at destroyers. Of course, I do have high X in the breach now, so ha ha ha. Come and get it, Rusky. Come and get it. So, plan at this point. Into sea, loop down, probably torpedo beat against this destroyer, and basically light him up for the Shimakaze. Again. I don't want to say that my principal experience of battleships at the moment is playing shell bait for other people, but that pretty much sums up my experience of high-tier battleships. I hate tanking. Don't get me wrong, there are times when you get that glorious, glorious Citadel shot, and it's incredibly satisfying when someone goes after you and then gets blindsided by a Shimakaze's torpedo launch, but it doesn't do anything for your score, and, well, that's what a lot of people measure it by. Right, let's see. 1600, 18.3, give him a lead of about 1,000 meters, and rounds out. Not a hope of hitting anything, of course, but that's not the point. 19, what kind of distance is he covering? Because those are... Ooh... Okay, so about 1,000 meters in a straight line. Maybe 1,100. That came in pretty decent. Okay, reloaded. Target is at an angle. Again, extend out to about... Well, in this case, we'll give it 1,400 meters vertical and out. Complete guesswork on the angle. Absolute Kentucky windage. But you know what? We might get lucky. Line looks good. Range looks very good. Shells are coming down. And I wetted his deck again. Yats. That's mildly frustrating. And now we've broken contact. Pop another repair party. Heal up a bit more damage. I'll be about, what, 55 thou coming out of this? Okay. Right, could target the line. That's a much easier shot, frankly. But the trash can is just so tempting. But lateral target, high speed. I believe this constitutes waste of ammo. Screw it. Rearm to armor piercing and hope for the best. You never know. Sometimes, just sometimes, Lady Liberty reaches down from heaven itself and wets the Tashkent's deck again. Okay, we have lock on the Minotaur. We have contact on the Lion. Okay. Really, I want that Minotaur to show up nice, slow and broadside, but I'm going to have to settle for abusing the Lion, who is also turning away. He's not stupid. Okay, bad shot there. No sense in breaking cover in order to hit a target that's where the rounds are probably going to do sod all except give away my position to all and sundries. So, close in the range. High graph and duck. Enjoy the ducky. She is an absolute pain until you get your hands on the all-important IFHE skill. At which point she turns into a ravenous monster. And hello, Moggy. Let's just eyeball this. Oh, come on. Oh, and there's the Tashkent. Yay, well, while he's shooting at me, guess what? I'm playing bait for a Shimakaze again. Yay. Okay, time to start jinking as well, because I'm in torpedo range of the Mogami. I'm in torpedo range, I think, of the Tashkent, if he gets ideas. And the Mogami is trying to light me up as well. Okay, thing is, I don't quite think Mogamin had the launch angles there, so we'll let him commit. As long as he's... Ow. Okay, fix that fast. Get the last repair party away. As long as they are like this, he is broadside on to me. So while the Neptune is beating him to a pulp, actually it was the Freddy that got the kill. Fine, lock on to Lion. Rounds out, target heading away. Snapshot, but decently effective snapshot. 13,000, I can live with that. There's the Tashkent's torpedoes. Gonna eat one. Torpedo beated the rest. Okay, Shima, I need you to put the Tashkent down. That would be kind of handy. Sod it, fine. If you want something done, do it yourself. Right, bow on to the Lion. Tank the worst of that armor piercing, assuming he starts throwing it round. Lock on to the Tashkent. Close range shot. Rounds out. Probably... I don't know. This looks good. This looks very good. This looks... Oh, for pity's sake, will you kindly die? And I'm on fire again. Wonderful. Marvellous. Super terrific. Also, I am broadside to a Yamato, and this is not a good situation to be in. Okay, well, at least the Shimakaze is hopefully going to put the Tashkent down. Oh, for heaven's sake. Right, okay, target is turning. Stable. Rounds out. Target evasive on one course. Anticipate the turn. Second salvo away. Got him! Too late, of course, but got him. And then the Yamato slams me in the broadside. No, Duck, she won't be a ravenous monster in a tier 10 game, but she does pretty well. And yes, Gruff, I could dearly use someone who actually knows what they're doing. That would be extremely welcome. So, we will leave that game for the moment. I will go and get Gruff into a division. I've got space for one more as well, by the way. And then we'll see where this goes. So, yeah, poi. Nanodes. Right. Invite sent. Tagged up. And it's US battleships. So, let's go back down to a simpler, quieter time. An elegant, more civilized age. Tier 6, the Arizona. 12 barrels, only 14-inch guns. But hey, that's plenty good for Tier 6, and she comes with plenty of them. It's just, who thought 21 knots was adequate for a battleship after, say, around about 1910? At least she gets the spotting aircraft, premium consumables as before, and premium camo loaded signals. Well, we'll slap on an India Delta. I really don't think there's any point wasting a Sierra Mike on this thing. I mean, it adds all of what? 1.1 knots. Dark, and I have to question what the board of construction were thinking when they okayed that as a speed for a battleship. There is just no accounting for it. Pass on with her. We'll take the slower flooding recovery time, and we'll slow down consumables as well, and that, I think, pretty much covers it. So, assuming that the basic role is the same, that of tank stroke bruiser stroke shell magnet. Yeah. I'm doing okay until I get ahead of everyone else. It's still faster than a sailing thing, not by much, but still. Slower than some. I mean, modern sailing catamarans can get up to, what, 50 knots plus with the right wind? What have we got? Okay. Ooh, lots of cruisers to bully, so yay for that. 3 destroyers, 1 kamikaze that they'll have to be careful round. Queenie, Misfortune, Iron Duke, and Julius. Right, anyone got some magic potion lying about? If you get ahead of everybody else, you're sailing in the... Well, that time, arguably, when we ended up helping cover B and then taking C, you can argue that, yeah, everyone else was sailing in the wrong direction. Okay, in this case, straight into C, I think. Up the middle, maybe duck behind one set of irons or the other for cover as we need to, and that gives us fire support into C and into B as needed. Assuming that sounds like a good plan to you, Graf, I'm honestly not sure. 21 knots. The problem with these slow battleships is that if you get your course wrong at the start of the game, it takes a very long time to fix it and get back to the actual fight. So, generally, my thinking with these battleships is basically pick the nearest objective, straightforward, go there. And, well, there's really no point. Oi, it's not fat, she's big-boned. Ugh, fatty, honestly. Blame her designers. They're the ones who didn't get her enough exercise when she was young. Okay, oh, 1 Bringer of Misfortune. Hasn't seen us yet, but, well, that'll change. Again, good stealth for a battleship. 12 kilometers isn't bad at all. And Tomixe, Torikaji Pai much? Yeah, there we go, clear. So, we've got the Gallus on the air as well, the Omaha. Well, I think I can overmatch the bow of a Gallus on the air, but honestly, at 14 kilometers, I'd have to be insane to try. On the other hand, he's turning broadside, I think. Maybe. No, he's flashing just enough angle to look good. Oh, wait. Oh. Merci, mademoiselle. That is most obliging of you. Please just hold that course for a few seconds longer. Of course, everything went high. This is my other problem. I have a hard time judging closing ranges. Now, maybe that's just me. Maybe it's the sheer speed of the French ships when they decide to floor the throttle. But he's just plugged in his engine boost, so I think we can safely assume that he is going to be flooring it for the next few seconds. Let's give it a bit more lead this time. Oh, no, he's turning broadside. Rounds out again. What is he doing? I mean, he's doing an excellent job of decoying my gunfire. I'm consistently thinking he's going faster than he actually is. I should be watching that smoke trail. Now he's floored it. That smoke angle is an absolute giveaway, and he's also popped his engine boost. So, hopefully I can nail him before he gets behind this island. Match all 12 guns, and he's braking again. Ouch! That sounded like Citadel. Rounds out. Even I can't miss at this range. 11 overpens, mind you, but... I don't care. Shotgun. It worked. Unfortunately, I do now have to worry about Fubuki, who is undoubtedly doing her best. However, Graf should have a shot on the little torpedo terror over there in a second, so at least that'll be one little menace less to think about. I just have to worry about the Fuso. There we go. The Taisho Terror is gone. Fubuki is at 8,000 and closing. I am going to pop my spotter plane. Prep high X for the next salvo. Can I get a clean shot into Misfortune? Yes, I can. Right. Rounds out. Clear the little island. Boomski. Okay, right. So, harder starboard. Crank the guns back onto the stern quarter. Bucky, I hope, is going to basically pop out alongside the Fuso. Now, Graf's torpedoes should, I hope, finish the Fuso. He's not going to get clear of all of them. And that leaves Bucky in... Oh dear, Graf, I is disappointed. I is also on fire. Let's just finish that before anything else goes wrong. Oh, never mind, flooding got him. So Bucky now pops out. Spotter plane, I hope, will spot Bucky. Unfortunately, Bucky got lucky. Oh, no, there she is. There she is. Come on. Guns, 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 guns. Come on, come on, come on. Traverse, traverse, traverse. Match, match, match. Static course, static speed. Rounds out. High explosive. 12 rounds. 5 hits, 1 fire. That's annoying. It did not quite enough to kill the Bucky. And of course, by the time I have contact again, Bucky's torpedoes are going to be back in the water. So start an evasive turn. Prep armor piercing for next salvo but 1, because one way or the other, either Bucky is dead or she's going to be so low on health that it isn't going to matter. So I can safely load armor piercing despite the fact that I want my next salvo into the Fubuki. Okay, turn around, crank the guns. Right, there's one launch from Little Miss Gunbaribus. And where are the other 2? Did he stagger his war shots? That's a good question. So, trying to keep up with Graf, of course. And just gently roll it into C. Another problem is this Iron Duke that's coming up. I'm going to have to switch to armor piercing fairly sharpish, whether I like it or not. And with the Fubuki still stubbornly out of sight... Mind you, the Iron Duke's turning to chase our Gerda. Gerda's going to clear the island, which means the Iron Duke's got to commit left or right. He'd probably commit left. That's what I'd do in his position. I'd rather risk broadsides from the Kongu and myself than go ploughing straight into a Gerda's torpedoes, but I could be wrong. What is that Iron Duke doing? Come on, watch the mini-map. Let's just check the full map. Is he committing... Yep, there's the turn. He's committing left. Load armor piercing. As much as I hate to waste a broadside, I need AP in the breach and ready to go. And there's the turn, yep. So he has committed, which means that if I get the guns prepped and laid, 17 seconds to broadside. I shouldn't have bothered switching the ammo. 10 seconds. He's gonna clear the peninsula just in time, and he's just crawling along. Barely breaking contact. Rounds out. This is totally kill securing. Honest. And excellent. Graf got the Bucky, so that's one little destroyer we don't have to worry about. All ahead. Oh, for God's sakes, can someone just get the ensigns to get out and push? It'll be quicker. Reloading armor piercing. They've got 1 destroyer, 2 battleships, 2 cruisers, and it's the Farragut. So frankly, we'll just keep armor piercing in the breach for the moment. The Farragut is actually just over there, dead man walking. So doesn't matter. Game over. They ran out of points. Worked out pretty well. Totally wasn't kill stealing that last shot. Smoke on the water completed. Don't ask. Just don't ask how I came. Graf came. Yeah, as expected. Let's get back to port. So gunnery needs some work. Unsurprisingly, we lost in the Missouri. That's really to be expected after that performance. They would have just rolled up the centre with their numbers once they pulled that. And the reward for smoke on the water is, well, 50% commander XP, because it's 2 shots of it there. Right. Let's stay at tier 6 for the moment. Have another go at the basics. Take a few baby steps and just generally go from there. Try and learn. See if there's anything to be picked up. Leave it. Damn it. Sorry, Dach. I'll pick you up on the next game. Need to get through La Gasoline. Okay, that's one name for her, I suppose. Okay, this is a much nicer matchmake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cruisers. Matchmaking. Have you been on the rum again? 5 battleships, 2 new mexes, and an October Revolution, and a Bayern. That could be tricky. But only 1 destroyer on each team. Of course, theirs had to be the Kamikaze. On the bright side, Emerald, Nuremberg, De Grasse, La Galissonière, all ships that have a reputation for going pop when you shoot them. So, ahead 3/4 to start with. I'm not going through sea, not from this position. 1, by the time I get there, the fighting will be over. 2, it's sailing through a narrow channel in a horizontally challenged battleship, I think is the politest way to put that. So we'll run down to B instead. Yeah, we can try for A, and you know what, that might be the way to go, because that means I'll have gun support into B, and can also provide fire into A. I don't actually want to end up in A myself, because that looks like a very, very bad place to be dodging torpedoes, but yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, so guns cranking round, armor piercing loaded, spotter plane and consumables ready to go. Team is dispersing pretty much as you'd expect, and I'm just watching that Emile Bertin with something approaching the usual paranoia. However, his guns are pointed the right way, and he is sailing more or less towards the enemy. German radar, no torp will ever be unspotted. Well, this is true. I mean, everyone spots the torpedoes 7 seconds before they slam into your hull and do horrible things to it. Okay. Forwards, forwards, forwards. At least the US battleships at low tiers give you time to enjoy the scenery. Sit back, relax, plan your strategies. Scream with frustration as your 30+ knot teammates barrel into the teeth of an enemy crossfire and get blown out of the water. Things like that. Right. So, I mean, even the Russians are outrunning you, you know something's wrong. There's the Krasny Oktobryashka, I think. I still can't pronounce the Russian. Actually, no. Krasny Oktobryashka Revolucja. Krasny Oktobryashka is a completely fictional submarine. Remember, according to both the US and Soviet governments, absolutely nothing in that movie ever happened. Ah, Belfast. Okay. Looks like we have something to bully. I wonder if we can introduce this guy to smoke firing. Pops the spotter plane. Arm up. Wait for the angle. Match pointers. Is he... Come on, fire again, my friend. Give me a mark. There you are, right. We'll try that. With these guns, of course, the dispersion, especially with no target lock, turns it into a shotgun effect. Ripped up the water, but I think he's backing off out of the control. Yeah, he is backing up. Which means we've got... Oh, wow, that's a lot of torpedoes. The whole not sailing into this little cauldron of death and destruction graph, it looks like a good plan. Just saying. And there is the Payfast with impervious natural armour in front of her. Not to worry, she's pulling forward. So let's just aim up. Rounds out. Acceleration could turn this into a total crapshoot, but it's looking good. Okay, I'll take that. Shots mostly went high, but I'll take it. And the Emile is doing his best, but he's already lost his team kill count for this one, thanks to scraping Gruby. And the Payfast, yeah. There's only so much a good ship can do to carry if you find yourself in that kind of situation. Still, 20,000 damage off one broadside, I'll take it. Okay, torpedoes are still running. Now, decisions. If I move into the control point, I am going to eat so many torpedoes from that Kamikaze. The Emerald has also had it. That leaves the De Grasse and the Kamikaze in this situation. This might be the most unwise thing I've done for some considerable time. Load high explosive, turn into the control point. We'll follow the Revolution. Hopefully we're going to use him as a torpedo magnet. 35-second reload. Good question. Very good question. In fact, let's just... Oh, there's the kamikaze. Right. Kamichin, show yourself. Oh, never mind. Turns out there's actually nothing to be afeared of. And also, I have the wrong ammo in the breach. And yes, I think it is about 35 seconds. We'll find out in a moment, Cruel. The Queen Elizabeth, well, she torpedo beated. She did not, however, artillery beat. So, need to switch to AP anyway. Yeah, it's 35 seconds. Also, I hereby stake my mining claim. Oh, damn it. Ah! 35 seconds. Well, it was for science. Just angle in. Ouch! That looks painful. Oh, wow. Okay, right. Into point A. Thank you, Graf, for misjudging your braking distance. It might actually let me get some capture points. And the island will not forget that lesson in a hurry. No. And I think the trees... Oh, God, torpedoes. Actually, full acceleration. Judge the turns. Get on the rudder. And let's play some good old-timey torpedo beat. No. German brakes never work. US rudders are a bit dodgy as well, especially on the battleships. Still, the Galissoniere is down as well, which just leaves the main enemy armada over at point C. Well, if I try and do anything by way of getting to point C, the world may not hear about it for years. So let's turn in behind Graf, thread the needle, and we'll let the new mechs take point for a moment. So just crank it over. Of course, the kamikaze at this point just capped B, so we have a pretty good idea of where she is. And you know what? She'll be expecting us to come through that channel and try to flank her. So load the armor piercing, crank the guns round again, and then break out another... has anyone got a bottle of Jack? Because right now I think we've time to finish it. There's a brief contact, so she's exiting east. This is going to put me square in front of that New Mexico. I can angle to a limited extent. High explosive is probably the right ammunition choice to start with. Oh, well done, Julius. Hydro on. Yep, so that will secure Graf. Cat fighter up as well, so we know the torpedoes aren't coming that way. Question is the new mechs lined up and ready to go? Well, we'll find out in a moment. Oh. That can't happen. It's not the 14th of March yet, and there's the little torpedo terror. Just ducking behind an island. Okay, no shot at the moment. Keep the high X on standby, and that... Actually, no. Hold high X out, targeting the new mechs, upper superstructure. No point trying to get through the belt with this stuff, after all. Rounds look going long again, but 2 penetrating hits. Clipped him a little. Turn, get bow in. Forward guns only, but you know what? It'll do nicely. Don't think he can overmatch me. Oh, never mind, he's dead. Right, okay. Kamichin's the most likely engagement next, but there's still the Iron Duke. That new Mex is off chasing our other Graf Spee. He is completely out of it. Get in the cap circles. I am trying to get in the cap circle at 21 knots. I have no idea why my accent just went German. Cruel, I'd say it was as slow as molasses, but honestly, molasses can move pretty fast when it's got a mind. I believe the record stands at about 40 miles an hour. So, tectonic plates, I believe, can also get up to a decent clip if they have time. Ah, there you are. Right, okay, just get a couple of random rounds out. Might clip her. Then again, probably not. Right, torpedoes in the water, that will have launched. So, turn starboard. And hold that course for about 5-10 seconds. And then turn back. 7 centimeters per year. That's not too shabby. Pretty worrying if you're on it, though. Okay, the Revolution's distracted. The Iron Duke is about to come out in front of me, however. The Kamikaze is in sight once again, but, well, bad target to end all bad targets, that one. And, ooh, brake, 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 brake. Turn, 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 turn. Once again, just aiming for the gap in the salvo, and once again, getting it completely wrong. I'm going to eat that one on the belt. Soak it. And target the Bayern. Rounds out. Missed the shot on the Iron Duke, annoyingly. Okay. No point even trying to engage these stern turrets. So I'll have to go broadside to 3 battleships, and that is bad. So, at this point, what I'm inclined to do is pop the spotter to get a bit of extra detection, and then basically angle to all 3, go bow on, and full reverse. Hold the position as long as I can. I don't want to get into a turning fight with 3 battleships at once, especially not with the little Kamikaze trying her stuff still. Right, so there we go. Target the Iron Duke. Is that torpedo going to clip me? Yes, it is. Bugger. Not much I can do about that. I'm just lucky I didn't detonate, because that was pretty much a perfect angle. Also lucky there was no flying. Graph, that looked awkward. Okay, right. Focus on the target you can kill. In this case, probably the Iron Duke once again. And also just keep backing up, because the longer that Kamikaze has a decent shot at me, the more painful it's going to get. Okay, another 4,500 off the Iron Duke. Bounced the worst of that. That new mech's at 20. Tempting. Almost in range. I might try for a long clip there. Might even risk unmasking. I think most of these guys have fired, and a little bit of a jink would also fox any torpedo solutions. So, we're gonna blast. Risk it. Maybe we aren't gonna risk it. Okay, Iron Duke's still angled. There's the new mechs. Target, locked, matched. Rounds out. Only really need 1 hit to connect. Of course, most of those guys only really need a couple of decent shots as well. Come on, new Mexi. Don't let me down now, RNGesus. RNGesus let me down. Angled against the worst of the Iron Duke's fire. 3.7 centimeters due east. That's still pretty nippy for solid rock. Okay, we are winning, however. The only problem is that Kamikaze is just going to, well, tear us a new one, basically. Might hit the biome. The only good news is that if we drop a Platar 89, that's a solid couple of 100 points without, well, 100 points difference without too much of a problem. And Snow Ghost is also getting a bit too isolated. So, oh boy, where the fuck? I was going to say well played, but that was all skill, no luck. Right, so, oh boy. Well, this just turned around in a hurry, didn't it? The October Revolution is still engaged. We have broken contact temporarily, which implies that the Kamikaze is doing a long circle round to get to point A. If I can put down this Revolution with 1 quick broadside, and I totally don't mean it like that. Okay, Kamikaze is now out behind the island, so guessing she's somewhere there. Actually, no, she's more like there. And then all ahead full, we get 1 clean broadside on the Optibraska. Basically, yes. And then see about turning back. I don't want to get close quarters with a Kamikaze, not without... Oh wait, our only cruiser left is the Pinky. Oh dear. Well, This is bad. This is very bad. Alright, priorities. Murder the Russian first. Okay. It would help if I could actually shoot straight. Again, I'm consistently getting my lead times wrong. Tend to overestimate. I think I instinctively aim for a target doing about 30 to 35 knots. The Oktobrashka, of course, is doing about 20. So in this case, you want a target lead pretty much, well, almost 2/3 what's going. However, Okta is now angling up. If I go close with a kamikaze, it is going to murder me with one well-aimed torpedo salvo. This is not safe, but we've got no choice. The Emil is way out of position to intercept. Okay, right, so 4.8 seconds time of flight. Target is doing approximately 20 knots. Estimate 4.8 seconds lead. Rounds out. Target well struck, target destroyed. That's more like it. Okay, now, here's the problem. The kamikaze knows where I am. The new Mex does not want to engage. Sensible chap. He's going for the Iron Duke. The Emil is turning around. Someone has got to put that destroyer on the bottom, and it's going to have to be me. Except his torpedoes? Yes, this could be problematic. Cruel, specifically the infamous, well, I say infamous, Pack 36 door knocker, because that's basically all it was good for by 1940. Also had a gun sight that, at least in World War II Online, was roughly akin to trying to aim by looking through a drinking straw. Okay, right. We have a massive point lead. We don't need to engage the kamikaze. I am anticipating Benningham losing badly against that Iron Duke and that Bayern, honestly. And that will pull most of the scores back. The points lead is not that massive at all. And as much as I hit it, there are also 2 control points to 1 up. They can maybe pull that back in 3 minutes. I don't need to engage the kamikaze. You're right. Oh, detection. And that's not the Bayern. The kamikaze's popped out. Not that one. It's popped out behind here, which means it's ducked back in. Yeah, there we go. We've lost the new Mex. That massive points lead you were talking about? Yeah, it ain't here anymore. Okay. Enemy started capturing B. That's the Bayern getting into position. Okay, 740. Target ahead. Right, okay. Fix that fast. Last repair party of the game in play. Target Bayern, high explosive. Stern turrets only. Target speed approximately 22 knots. Time of flight 5.1 seconds. Adjust aim on the 5.3 marker. Upper superstructure. Target is closing. Rounds out. Armor piercing following salvo. Target partially struck. Launch spotter plane by way of anti-torpedo defense. And more to the point, there's something solid between him and the Bayern. So you know what? I am quite happy with him shooting wildly. And now they're in the lead. So, yeah, that massive points lead we had, Cruel, we really didn't. That Bayern has got to go in the next, 2 salvos. And he's angled. And in fact, he's angled better than me. And he has more health than me. And as you point out, the Frenchie is shooting wildly. However, the Bayern, well, this might go bad. Okay. Target, bow on. Turning in. Rounds out. Torpedoes astern. Okay, so that's what the kamikaze did, but was safely out of range of those. Not even a contest. Incoming shell fire from the Bayern. Incoming shell fire from the Iron Duke. Yeah, that's how fast a point score turns around if you don't control a cap point. So 5 seconds, rounds out, forward turrets engaged, rear turrets engaging. Okay, 10,000 there. Target shed enough velocity to be safe. Got the angle against this. Probably won't survive. Oh, that was close. Oh god, Iron Duke. Oh, still not dead. Still not dead, you German. Yeah, probably shouldn't say that on stream. And we are toast. Yeah. That kamikaze just turned it round. What even happened to our Podvoisky, I wonder? Still, got a Dreadnought. I can live with that. And third on the team, what do you expect? Graf came first. The other guys, best not discussed, really. Interestingly, the Bayern topped it out, probably because he was the one doing the actual capping. Okay, so gunnery. And, ooh, Taproot is available again. Duck, you did put first claim in, however. So if you're up for it. Okay, right. Tuckcrew, I will throw Duck an invite. I will have to get you into stream one of these days, mostly because you're actually a decent player and you can hopefully advise. Right, so Duck Fritier, where did you go? Players search. Come here, Duck Frit. It's around here somewhere. The real Duck Fritier. What, you have a problem with fakes running around? There we go. And ooh, invite to division. Okay, right, so I'm going to drop into the Arizona again. Third game of the evening with her. And Boats, of course, is in La Gasoline. Yuzral doesn't know his friends anymore because he has no friends. That, unfortunately, is pretty accurate. Why do you think I can do this on a Friday night and a Monday night? Okay. We are good. Everyone's set and ready? Oh, Graph. Oh, right. We're going full continental. Okay. Well, almost full continental. In fairness, the French were of great help to those rebel scum during the American Civil War. It's probably true, actually, or at least truer than I'd like. And we're up against tier 7s. Terrific! Oh boy. And they've got the destroy advantage. On the bright side, they're Fubukis. Could be worse. We have got the cruiser advantage, and, well, it's a Fiji, a Shores, a Gasoline, a Bertin, and a Dynamite. So, a couple of good broadsides, and we should be good. And, hello, Judge, good to see you. Nightbot is... You see it, but nobody else does. Is the answer to that one. Everyone else just sees message deleted by Nightbot. Okay, so, right. Well, I'm going all ahead full. You guys might want to throttle back a little. Okay, and also get the guns pointed the right way. Okay. That... Oh, right. Okay. Probably because Nightbot is showing me the uncensored stream, so I can... I'll need to figure that out. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's, yeah. Nightbot is still very much in its out-of-the-box configuration. I pulled it out purely for the giveaway function. I didn't even know the chat mod function was enabled, but there you go. I, for one, welcome our new robot overlord, but, well, it needs me to play the game at the moment. I'm still better than a bot. Just about. So, total forwards. Okay, so mathematics of the dynamic gun sight. As I understand it, each of these tick marks corresponds to 1 second of shell flight for a target doing 20 knots lateral, well, perpendicular to the axis of fire. I could be wrong, but it worked quite nicely against that October Revolution. And Graf, did you just cut up that English cruiser? Okay, right, one Bayern still out of range. Ooh, one Königsberg, very definitely not out of range now I've popped my spotters. So, target at 35 knots, give or take. Actually, target is rapidly manoeuvring. Lock onto the Bayern. Target at 20 knots, time of flight 9 seconds. Estimate lead. Adjust for closing. Rounds out. Forward batteries only. Let's see where that goes. Looks pretty reasonable. It's come down a little long, if anything. Adjust slightly. Stern batteries firing. They are fast once you plug in the speed boost. And, well, the only thing faster than that was our Nuremberg. 30 knots calibration. Okay, it's... Well, that would have suggested... Okay, well, we'll try it. So, let's assume 30 knots. So, target Bayern doing approximately 22 knots at angle, assume 20 knots perpendicular. Time of flight, 7 seconds. 2/3 of that, 5 seconds. Adjust for lead. And rounds out. Okay, let's see how that does. And rounds over, coming down. Okay, I may have to concede your point on 30 knots rather than 20 there. And no, I didn't take artillery plus room. I'm not even sure you have it at tier 6, but I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. I haven't looked at the consumable setup on this thing for a while. That Bayern, however, probably hasn't looked at his stock of repair buckets for any time in a while. And, ooh, cruiser. Juicy, juicy cruiser. Come on, Fraulein, poke your head out. So, let me see. Königsberg, target doing approximately 30 knots. Estimated time of flight, 6 seconds. Adjust, and screw it. Kentucky windage on that one, it's turning. Rounds out. Target astern. Rounds coming down. Well, that could have been better. The Bayern's burned. We've got the Fubiki firmly under fire. And I think the gasoline is pretty much burning the Fubiki. And there goes the Königsberg. So, oh hey Scharnhorst, what are you doing over here? What's a nice girl like you doing in a backwater like this? Also, would you mind not cutting me up on the oh, God. Excuse me, I'm going as fast as I can. It would help if you did not crush the ensigns who are pushing. Okay, Arizona has it, does she? Right, I will need to check that out once we get back into port. So, all ahead full. And when I say all ahead full, I mean all ahead leisurely stroll and try to turn inside the Dunkirk. In fact, I think I'm going to take a bit of a risk and go straight through the channel at Foxtrot 5 because, well, there's really no other way I'm going to get back into the battle, am I? Everything on this side is dead. The Nagato and the Scharnhorst, of course, can take the slightly faster option. Let's just roll it forwards. Trundle, trundle, trundle. Also, their lemming train does appear to be kind of smashing our blobs. They're ensigns. I mean, come on, how many did they get through in a series of Star Trek? There's always more. Okay. Right, in with speed boost. This thing is barely faster than a Miyoko or Alba. Yeah, well, 35 knots still ain't to be sniffed at. You can come over here and do 21 knots if you like. Depending on where they... Yes, I'm starting to agree with you. In fact, the way they're getting strung out, that KGV is going to engage first. This chap, Bertil, just to the north, if he turns left and tries to go for the cap, he's going to leave himself very much out of support. And Scharnhorst, god damn it, if you keep doing this, you're going to have to marry me. I mean, we've already swapped insurance deals. You could at least buy me dinner first. And now the Nagato. Ow. Okay, right. Well, as I said, the whole point of this stream is that I finally bribed and potatoed my way to the Missouri. I kind of need to learn how to play American battleships, and I think at least part of the problem is the gunnery. That's why I keep going over the calculations on the dynamic gun sight. Speaking of which, we have an Emile Bertin. No angle at the moment. The Nagato is blocking the shot anyway. I think I can just nudge inside Nagato's turn radius at this point. Slow slightly. Don't want to end up on the wrong end of a katana wedding myself. There we go. And yeah, I think it's going to be tricky. Might get a snapshot on the Emile as she clears the channel, but the Belfast didn't have line of sight long enough to get a solution. Why is it that the slow ship is always up front? Because you have to go full throttle and then everyone paces themselves round you. Also because I am a stupidly aggressive player in this game. I will get front and centre in just about any ship except a carrier. And I've been known to get pretty far forward in a carrier as well, just to try and turn my cycle planes round a bit quicker. Okay, right, so KGV, shot blocked by terrain. No point even running the numbers on that one. Okay, I think we've blunted their thrust. Well, let me rephrase that. Graf has blunted their thrust. Unfortunately, they are all turning back to get themselves some hot French action. Very hot French action. How many fires is that, Graf? 2, 3, 4? Does it matter? Boom. No, not really. Yes. Is he as good, BB? Well, if you say so. Right, target Fubuki, turning, manoeuvring. Never mind, target is dead. Okay, Queen Elizabeth. Approximately 15 knots. Rain, time of flight, 6 seconds. Adjust for approximately 4 notches. Rounds out. Control that with a repair party, not a damcon. And target hit center mass. Yes, thank you! I think I might finally begin to handle this. I'm going to keep doing the calculations by the numbers. Literally by the numbers. Also, let's put that fire out before it gets any more out of control. Target Fiji blocked by terrain. Target KGV and gasoline all blocked by terrain. I think maybe we might have a fractional shot opportunity on the KGV. Nope, shot blocked. Fractional shot on snapshot on that Emile Bertin. Target 35 knots. Estimated time of flight 6 seconds. Rounds out. Complete snapshot, but you never know. We might get... Well, I'd say lucky, but that's a bit of an exaggeration. He was probably doing nearer to 35, and we've lost Bucky. We are 60 points ahead, however. Unfortunately, I keep showing up on the scene too late to be of any use to anyone. You know, I could have turned my ARF guns around about 5 minutes ago. No, I did. If I'd realised that, I would have done it. Okay. Situational awareness is also something I need to work on. Unfortunately, with Bucky out of it, we don't really have much spotting at the moment, so all I can do is, well, try to pursue... Okay, options. I either do a hard left, snap round and go through the channel again, which will engage quicker, or I continue trying to pursue that KGV, who is frankly almost dead anyway. So you know what? Harder port. Yes, this is the long way round. There's the KGV. So keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Get the guns turning as well, in an effort just to have everything round, because the Belfast is going to have the Gallus on the air in a couple of seconds, and I am blowed if I'm missing out on some of that action. Of course, the Gallus on the air is going to be getting its torpedoes away at that angle. Okay, come on, come on. Turn! No, the torpedoes. Come on, Belfast. You will... Well, you probably got your vengeance in first, and you only ate one torpedo, so that could have been worse. Right, well, guns are now prepped. Emil Bertin also sailing into the Valley of Doom. Let's see, target doing 35 knots. Time of flight 4.4 seconds. Estimate 6 knots. Rounds out. Degree of Kentucky windage there. 3 over pens. Well, that's about as good as you can get if RNG just decides it's not going to play. And target burning. Target destroyed. Right. For a very loose definition of snap round, okay? Just saying, Cruel. I mean, snapshot is a bit of a misnomer in this thing. Yes, I accept this. Right, okay. Shots on the KGV. Slow target. Okay, just hold that solution. And they came down at around about the 3 mark. Time of flight 5 seconds. Target doing approximately 20 knots. Yeah, that kind of mathematics works pretty nicely, doesn't it? So, take a gentle left turn. I am going to be sticking my head out in front of the enemy. This may not be entirely wise. However, by the time I do that, the Fiji should be committed. All of those ships should be engaged with our Nagato over there. So I should, be able to get some decent rounds out. And again, terrain shot, but again, instinctive aim, 1 shatter. I have got to get this discipline into my head of calculating the shots again, almost without thinking about it. Well, there have been some moderate torpedo beat. And I say moderate torpedo beats, and mostly failed miserably. Right, the KGV is well out of range. That just leaves the Colorado, who is angled. Sod it. Prep high explosive. Snapshot to clear the breach. There we go. Right, high explosive ready. Angled targets in both cases. And again, this is what happens when I don't take my time and run the numbers on the shot. You can see my accuracy is suddenly going way down. Anyhow, a 21 knot battleship is about to get into the enemy cap circle. That could be possibly the most, well, second most humiliating thing that can happen to you in the game of World of Warships. The most humiliating thing probably being either capped by a Langley at, what is it, 17 knots? 18 knots? Yes, indeed, the judge. Like I say, I must indeed learn to Arizona. Okay, so take the gunnery again. Okay, target at... Okay, I'm just going to be somewhere else, I think. And I can't even break contact either, because he is inside detection, so... screw it. Snapshot. Armour piercing into the breach. How do you like them apples, Sonny? You know what? Let's do it again, because he's popped his repair party. Lost a couple of seconds on the repair time then, but 60 knots, it's a roundabout. It's a converted freighter, put it that way. So, 2 minutes to cap. The KGV is eyeing me up. Oh no, I suddenly have no steerage way. Oh look, he suddenly has no damcon and only 7,500 health. 8 seconds to high explosive. 4 seconds to high explosive. Target at 8,000 meters, closing 20 knots. Just sights on the nose. Seriously? Okay, angle against the worst of it. And target has been summarily beaten to death. Right, target Colorado. Again, target is bow on, maintain high explosive. And get the stern guns into play because he's not looking at me. 5 seconds. Target closing at 21 knots. Estimate 9,400 meters. Estimate distance covered over 4 seconds. 8,005. Rounds out. Okay, target decently struck. With the horizontal scatter, I couldn't really expect anything better. Target turning broadside. No, not enough time to switch to AP, although prep it for the next volley. And yes, I know Colorado will overmatch. That's why I'm trying to stay at about 30 degrees to it. It's also why I'm quite glad that he's not looking at me, which is arguably a mistake. Okay, match the stern turrets as well. Target 21 knots, time of flight 3 seconds, estimate at 2 notches, rounds out. Oh, for God's sakes, would you kindly die? Thank you. Right, 15 knots max speed. Okay, so that is definitely something that I've got to take my time on my shots. I have got to keep verbally running the numbers until I've got it into my head how to do that calculation. And unsurprisingly, the Belfast came in top, but at 4 kills, he pretty much earned it. Graph... Oh, right, okay, never mind. Let's skim over that. 11 out of 12 dice. Like I say, Hans, this is what happens. This is the difference between me just eyeballing the shot and me taking my time, doing the maths with the dynamic sight, and actually working it out. That is the absolutely crucial difference. So let's try, let's try and translate this back into high tier, because you know what? I have Wargaming in their, yes, Arizona needs to get where the battle is going to be, possibly next week. So, oh yes, range upgrade, you did mention this, so let's just pop that module around. I'm not sure what I've got loaded. Oh. Oh dear. Well, at least I can install the range upgrade without having to compromise. Oh god. Okay, so now that we have this horrible discovery out of the way, let us see. I could go... Well, let's go for main armaments. I didn't really lose any main armaments, did I? So I'm very tempted just to take the spotting aircraft mod instead. Oh dear. Right, let's load the spotting aircraft mod. And then we're going to load the plotting room. And oh yes, that is quite nice, isn't it? 16% extra, and it's coming in cheap because there's a sale on. This was totally planned, guys. Damcon mod 1 because no fire. Fire is bad. And last but not least, steering gears. Okay, Damcon 2 or steering gears 2, because taking the rudder shift down by, what is it, 20%? It would slice about 3 seconds off the rudder shift. Or I could take another 15% of my fires. Honestly, neither of them were a big deal in that last game. So you know what, let's take the rudder shift, just for a bit of attempted torpedo beat. And, well, let's see if that makes a difference, shall we? Right. Gods, I I don't know what I've got in the Atlanta, but it's something ridiculous. Okay, Duck has got the gasoline out. Graf, what are you going to take? Well, while Graf is making his way... Right, so... Torpedo polishing guy. Torpedo polishing guy is not there. He is up on the stage. Now, I believe there is a myth going around. Oh, he's still not there. Okay, let's go play another battle. Once Graf's ready. While he's doing that, I'm going to look up this latest torpedo myth. Torpedo guy myth regarding super containers. After all, we can test it for science. Ahem. Absolutely for science. Positively for science. Okay. Never indeed. Oh, Mutsu. Right, okay, well, off we go. Let's just hope we don't get a carrier. Torpedo guys. There was something about torpedo guy being on deck and having his arm out to the right, but I'm not sure I believe that. Luckily, we do not have a carrier to worry about. Unluckily, both sides have got North Carolina, so 16-inch guns, ho! Also 15-inch guns, ho, because there's a Queen Elizabeth over there, but hey, overmatch is overmatch. Also, lots of destroyers. I don't like this matchmaking. Okay. Right. That's more like it. 18.6 kilometers range. We're just going to saunter leisurely towards A, I think. 16-inch. Yes, I suppose they are. North Carolinas are what... Actually, no, yours are 41 centimetre. North Carolinas are only 40.6. So, yes, you do still have the biggest guns here. Yeah, good call on the rudder upgrade. That never happened. Right. Guns ho, indeed. Remind me again, just what anti-air do you have on that thing? Generally, I mod ships, at least when I remember. I think pretty much everything is modded, and I hope you're the only person wondering. Already spotted. Whew, yes, it's Mutsu. I mean, just watch out for that number 3 turret and you'll be fine. Okay, York. High angle target, bad shot. Fubuki in the cap circle, that's not so good. Prince Eugen. Pudding might be worth a shot. Let's see, 32, 33 knots, time of flight estimated 7 seconds. And terrain blocking the shot. Damn it. Okay, 2 minutes on the spotter plane. Okay, target Queen Elizabeth. Terrain blocking the shot. In fact, terrain is blocking pretty much everything, but that York has obligingly gone broadside, except now he's... Where is he? There he is. Right, so York. German cruiser, target approximately 30 knots, time of flight 7.5 seconds, aim 7.6, aim slightly long, rounds out, and then full throttle because this is not going to work. Target turning to evade, target 8 2 overpens. Well, that could have been better, but could have been considerably worse. Okay, lock the guns to port for a moment, and then we're going to have to take the long way around this island. Graph, that includes you as well. And our York was the first to explode. Oh dear, that's unfortunate.
Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes direct front.
Haha.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Okay, just angle in to dodge this. Just remember that Graf is now going to be the first person to get shot at. Best defense of anything is to have a more interesting target for the enemy to aim at. So, harder port. Locked on. Okay, York, reset this calculation. Target doing approximately 35 knots. 8 seconds time of flight. Aim for approximately 10 seconds lead. Target is turning, aim slightly short, rounds out. Duck just got murdered. The gasoline turned out to be, well, flammable. And target decelerated. Well, yep. Smoke mechanics. Yeah, for what it's worth, that got me killed last time I was on Stuntman's stream. I was in a Minotaur, forgot about the smoke mechanics, and got railgunned by a Yamato. Okay, target Prince Eugen. Target speed approximately 35 knots. Target is turning. Not a brilliant shot. Target is also about to eat torpedoes and is dead, so no point wasting the ammo anyway. Right, lock on Fubuki. Target is... what the blazes? Okay, I ain't questioning it. Target has a death wish. Rounds out. And Bucky got lucky. Wow. Dispersion was very kind there. I need to think about this Queen Elizabeth, however. So, turn in. Target enemy Farragut gone. Wow, what happened to the enemy destroyer fleet? They just folded like the proverbial deck of cards. Okay, bow on Queen Elizabeth. Lucky hit into the stern. Flute cables. Okay, Queen Elizabeth. Target turning approximately 15 knots. Closing it from 10,007, adjust to 10,000 flat. Rounds out. Load high explosive because either I'll be shooting at the Fubuki or a heavily angled QE. Either way, AP is pretty much going to, yeah, there we go, either bounce or overpen, which is not worth the ammo. So, close up. Come here, Bucky. Come here, but... oh dear. I think this might be someone's first game in a Fubuki somehow. Is he going to make that turn? I don't think... no, he's not going to make the turn. Also, torpedoes were launched way too early. And that's good night. Oh boy, I'm about to pay for this. Not to worry, got the kill. Come on, rudder. Oh. So that's improved rudder shift we were talking about. Yeah, nope. Mind you, the Queen Elizabeth is toast as well, so I wasn't the only one having a bad day of it with torpedoes. Right, switch armor piercing, gun starboard, turn into point A and angle because that North Carolina is still lurking. I'm in stealth, but that will change the moment that, whoa, where are those going? Why do I even have to ask? Hello, oh, no, he missed. Okay. Okay, so targets. That North Carolina broadside, but long range. Fast rudder, slow down. Yeah, that's a fair comment, actually, considering I played more than a few games in an Arizona with no modernization upgrades. Oh well, she's had her rudder shift tweaked now and her range battery, so it's all good. It's all good. Honestly, that totally wasn't broadcast live on the internet for everyone to laugh at. Okay, terrain in the way of that Leander. Terrain not in the way of that Leander, however. Are you about to run yourself aground, my friend? No, he's going to scrape it. Okay. No shot there. Got the cap credit, however. Okay, so at long range, bow on, bad shot. Yeah, if you keep glancing off main belts, it's a bit of a pest. However, he is in range of me as well, in 12 kilometers. Okay, let's rerun the numbers. York, target is doing approximately 15 knots, dead slow. Literally dead slow, so we'll just shotgun the first couple. And then he's turning away, so we'll aim another couple as well. There we go. Oh, overpens on those two. Rounds coming down on the second salvo. And straddled him. Clipped him for about 5,000. So he now has 2 battleships shooting at him, so hopefully this will end fairly quickly. And badly for him. North Carolina over there get bow on. Well, not quite bow on, just flash a bit of broadside. So there's a chance that the shells will clip off the belt. Now then, York moving at approximately 35 knots. There we are, rounds out. Again, shotgunning because I'm not sure of his speed or his vector. Couple of rounds coming close, couple of hits. Oh. Seriously, you traded away a tier 8 to take out a tier 6. Such misfortune. That sounded bad. Oh dear. Right, okay. Look, armor piercing, reloading. Lock on Faso. Never mind, Faso is dead. That leaves me with the York and the North Carolina as targets. I don't think I need to worry about it making it into a YouTube video, Ranger. It's gonna be over Twitch clips already. I know my audience. Okay, right. Locked on. And solid. Just eyeball. This one rounds out. Over the terrain. Probably aimed it way too short. But the left-hand side might catch him. And he was accelerating anyway. And I aimed long as well. Again. As tempting as it is, don't eyeball the shot. Trust your gun sights, Yuzral. Learn, damn it. That was the whole point of this stream. Okay, port turn. North Carolina is angled. Cancel that port turn. Get back in. We are winning quite comfortably, but I would like to at least kill the York. Or at least get some more gunnery practice in on the York. Hello, York. No, he's decided he doesn't want to play. And North Carolina appears to be pegging it as well. Fine. Forward guns, stand by to engage. Target, North Carolina, 11,800 meters, proceeding away from us at approximately 27 knots. Let's see, estimate range plus 1,600 meters, angle offset minor, rounds out. I should probably actually bother to do proper calculations for relative speed versus range, but, well, that bit of eyeballing worked pretty well, didn't it? Oh, and there's the York stern guns. Again, target moving at approximately 1/2 speed, but will accelerate the moment I fire. Estimate 3/4 speed. Belay that, target accelerating now. Estimate 25 knots. And time of flight 10.4 seconds. So, range adjustments, eyeballed, rounds out. Target back in concealment. Okay. Yeah, and it's something I need to learn the discipline to do as well. So, 23 knots, blind fire, pop spotter plane, target, time of flight 7 seconds, the hell with it. Oh, never mind, probably would have clipped him. Doesn't matter, however, because the York is firing on me anyway. York has actually hit the buffers. Target is effectively stationary. Alpha Wiedersehen, Alpha Wiedersehen is something completely different and probably total garbage in German. Yeah. Rounds coming down, rounds splashed. Fine, well, the York is basically irrelevant at this point. Anyway, the Leander is about to go down, more or less. Well, the first Leander is. The second Leander is probably working out how he can save his tea stockpile and is also in range with the spotter. So, okay, got some time. Let's work this out. Leander, target doing approximately 32 knots at full speed. Time of flight of shells, 11 seconds. Adjust for... oh, never mind. Target is turning. Okay, recalculate. Estimated offset 2,000 meters. Eyeballed. Target is turning again. Ah, the hell with it. Shotgun. Of course, occasionally you do just get lucky. Like I said, the Kagero got the kill, but 6,000, I'll take it. Yeah, more to the point, you have to do the maths so many times that it becomes your gut instinct. And that is something that I still do not have down. And let's just skip past that bit, shall we? Oops. So, container time. Right, torpedo guy is on deck. Let's see. Wait for it. Wait for it. There. And do we think... No. Of course not. Any rumours that Wargaming gives preferential bias to streamers? No, that ain't true at all. Okay. And, oh, never mind, I'll take some Zulu hotels. They're always handy. Okay, right. Let's try this in something a bit bigger. This is the Massachusetts upcoming and work in progress Tier 8 battleship. So I've got to turn this on and just yoink it over here. There we go. Some people believe the Earth is flat. Indeed. But hey, you never know. I'll take anything that might possibly appease RNGesus. You never know. And just to verify, yes, she has modules fitted. Why do you ask? Although I might consider going for the plotting room mod one. On the other hand, with the main battery range of 23 kilometers, it seems a little bit pointless on this girl. Just saying. So, crank it up to Tier 8, South Dakota class battleship. Same as the Alabama, functionally. I believe she has slightly better anti-air, slightly worse stealth. We're talking minor trade-offs. I honestly think that most people's principal decision between Alabama and Massachusetts is going to be sentiment. People are going to go for the ship that they've either visited, or the ship that is named for their home state, or that they just have a liking for. Hell, maybe even whichever football team you support. I mean, if you can call that rugby knockoff, you guys call football a proper sport and not just legalised violence, but there you go. Right, let's go. At least a scrum requires a degree of finesse. As far as I can tell, a frontline ruck in American football is just an excuse to have a headbutting contest, and rugby is very good. It's American football I was taking aim at. Although I'm speaking as a scrawny, relatively scrawny guy who, when he was 11, generally got put on either the backs or the wings, and spent most of the game trying to avoid front row forwards who weighed twice what he did, and most of the extra was muscle. I never did very well at rugby. Okay, down the left, do you think, gentlemen? Okay, no defensive AA. Well, I have Stephen pretty much loaded for anti-air myself, so I can pack a decent wallop if I need to. Why is it called football at all? I don't know, but technically rugby is rugby football, so you can make that point anyway. And they do kick it. Mostly they just engage in punting it down the pitch, and as far as I can tell, having a fight to see who gets to it first, but that may just be me. It's not football, it's hand egg. No, that would be handball. Right, our CV is... Oh, God. 2 torpedo... It could be 222 load. I mean, it could be 222. He could be good. I used it a fair bit in my shocker crew myself, so we'll just have to overlap our flak and hope for the best. Speaking of which, locking flak onto that lead set of torpedo bombers, I mean, he can do quite a bit with 2 squadrons if he knows how to strafe. And it looks like the other guy might be a 222 setup as well. Right. Target, New Orleans, stationary. Spotter plane deployed. Never mind. Target Chapayev doing approximately 30 knots. Never mind. Target is turning in. Looks like their cruisers are taking shelter behind the island. Target New Orleans has gone stationary. Guns are laid, but I have this rather annoying thing called a rock formation in the way. So, commencing hard port turn. Maintaining gun solution. Come on, come on. There we go. Rounds clear. Rounds away. Turning port. Maintaining turn. One hit. Gads. Okay. Break away. Hope that she doesn't eat too much. Luckily, like Alabama, they lowered her citadel. Well, it was never raised in the first place, so she can take a bit of a pounding, but I wouldn't care to do this for very long. Right, so lock target. Takao is tempting, but... oh, very tempting, in fact, but will accelerate the moment I pull the trigger. That Chapayev is backing up. Okay, you know what? Target backing up, target turning. Rounds out. That's either going to hit the whatever is stealthed and shooting, or it's going to hit the Chapayev. I think it's going to hit the Chapayev. Come on. Oh, for pity's sake! Sometimes random number god just has it, and yes, I will grant you random number god does sometimes complain. Right, target Chapayev accelerating. Assume average speed approximately 15 knots. Calculate for 12 seconds time of flight. Estimate 6 seconds. Rounds out. Getting faster at doing the maths, but that was still mostly eyeballed. And he might well be able to turn inside it. And who put that island here? And rounds miss clean. So luckily, once my detection penalty wears off and the range drops back down, there we go. Broken contact. I can now unknot myself in peace. Yes, and that's one of the interesting things, actually. Despite all the extra armour and padding, I believe... in particular, American football is notorious for concussing its players. Anyhow, let's get back to doing this maths practice. Target York, top speed approximately 35 knots. Time of flight 10 seconds. Estimate lead at 12 notches. Adjust slightly for aspect angle and rounds out. Also maintain port turn, because I'm currently reversing and broadside to a battleship, and that's exactly what you shouldn't do, even in another battleship. And I got my time estimate totally wrong there. He's actually only doing about 30. Of course, he's probably doing a hell of a lot more by now. Okay, back into concealment. Again, lock onto the York. Target doing approximately 30 knots. Time of flight of shells, 12 seconds. I think it starts to break down a little once you get to extreme angles. The approximation of the straight line trig stops working. York tops at 32 knots. That's why that went wrong. Okay, new target then. Fuso tops out, I believe, 23 knots. Time of flight, 11 seconds. Estimate offset at 8 to 9 notches. Closing slightly. Rounds out. Graf, you appear to be having some troubles over there. Also, congratulations on your enterprise. Lock targets onto those bombers. Rounds coming down on the Fuso.
Torpedoes deployed.
Okay, well, managing to brutalise the bombers, if nothing else. Yeah, this thing comes with American issue flak. Why do you ask? Also, switch target, hit those dive bombers. Try to save the Graf. We're failing miserably at that. Switch targets again. Lock target, hit the York. Okay, 32 knots, time of flight 6 seconds. Estimate offset just over 6. Don't bother because he's going to burn. Waste of ammo. Graf, you're not dead. Congratulations. Oh, Gerda. Breaking in from the south. Target doing approximately 35 knots. Time of flight 6.5 seconds. Estimate at 8 to 9 notches. Rounds out. Range off that stern shot. Target is also evasive. Random number god says yes. Okay, Bismarck, bad target. Right, Fuso, target barely moving. So we'll just adjust for waterline. Approximately 5 knots, time of flight 7 seconds, rounds out. And I may have actually miscalculated. Oh well, 11,000. Start patching up some of these scrapes and lock on anti-air onto the torpedo bombers. I don't know, and that torpedo bomber squadron is attempting to fix the problem. Just saying. Luckily, I don't think that Bismarck is secondary spec. Alright, Fuso now moving 23 knots. Time of flight 8 seconds. Estimate therefore at 3/4. Aim for 6 notches. Leading slightly, rounds out. Oh, hit that. Oh, boom. There we go. Rounds coming down. Decent hits, but range was bad. Okay. Target torpedo bombers. Lock on. Anti-air engaging. And I think... Oh, static... Reversing Bismarck. Okay, fine, I can live with that. Reversing broadside Bismarck. Oh, happy day. Also, our fighters have shown up. Hopefully they can panic the drops. Hopefully I can get this torpedo bomb before it gets any ideas. No, it got its drop-off. Fine, switch target. Target Bismarck. Reversing upper hull. Rounds engaged. There we go, 10,000 damage. Backing it up. The York is also getting ideas, I think. In fact, the York is very definitely getting ideas. Luckily, with the angle I'm at, I think I'm... Well, I don't think any of them can overmatch. And I'm bouncing a sizable chunk of it as well, I think. Alright, target Bismarck, upper hull. Rounds away. 4 hits, 13,000 damage. Thank you. Patch up the worst of it. The Fuso's having a go as well. We're going to have to worry about these cruisers on our right flank in a second. I think the York is getting ideas about trying to sneak around and get some torpedoes in. Excuse me. Oh, he's doing it anyway. Good man. Okay, Fuso, closing. Target speed 23 knots, just never mind. Terrain's in the way. And I think I just ate all his fighters, so yay me. Right, the York's closing. I think he's going to try and get a snapshot with torpedoes. Probably coming... Oh no, he's coming around the front. Seriously? I would have at least tried to come around the right-hand side, mate. Okay, fine. Well, it's 6-kilometer torpedoes. He'll be trying to charge it down. Except I can completely fluff my shot. I should have waited. Right, well, you're about to come around that corner, and if you want to close on me, you have to go broadside to a Tirpitz. Have fun, my friend. Welcome to Morton's Fork. Also lock onto those torpedo bombers, because just in case... And I am going broadside to a Bismarck. This is not the smartest thing I've ever done. I am about to get flanked. Ouch! Okay. All ahead full. Torpedoes are gone. Graph's engaging the bombers. I am about to eat a ton of torpedo. This is not my smartest decision ever, and now the Graph has very effectively bracketed me. Yeah. Okay, that was nicely done. That was very nicely done by the enemy, it has to be said. Stuck the York in front of us as bait, or rather a sacrifice, and then the Fuso and the Bismarck got round and were able to flank me. That was... yeah. On the other hand, while the enemy are coming over here and trying to dislodge us, our own team is working their way over on the other side, and it's not looking pretty, is it? Yeah. I either went bow on to the battleships and got torpedoed by the York, or I went bow onto the York and got hammered by the battleships. As I say, it was a nicely executed tactic, which and I'm not sure how I could have countered it except by motoring about 5 minutes earlier than I did, charging the York and just hoping to dodge his torpedoes. So that is one of those situations where I went more passive than I usually do and suffered for it as a consequence. Still, Tirpitz cracking on. Torpedoes running towards Biscuit. Biscuit, of course, has hydro and is accelerating, so I don't think those torps are actually going to hit. No, they're not, but it did force the Bismarck to... Oh, well, never mind. How's it going? Why am I even asking? Ouch. Well, so much for the left flank. On the bright side, the enemy's left flank is in similar disarray, and we've got the lead into their cap circle. So I think we're going to pretty much wrap this one up. Oh, and you got the Bismarck with torpedo. Right, Justice. Only 90k. Well, that's still twice what I did. But as we've discovered, and as I'm trying to fix on this stream, I can't shoot straight. More torps got the Bismarck. Yay! Well, let's just pop out. I would think they've got this one in the bag, more or less. So, yeah, Tirpitz. Yep, Tirpitz can be dangerous if she gets the chance. So, okay, I also couldn't buy a fire on the Biscoy. Yeah, well, some things you just don't have the luck for. Okay. Yeah, that'll be a loss then. I did say that I didn't specify who they were, so it could have been referring to the enemy. Just saying. Covering my bets. Sensible thing to do. Right. Let's see. Do we go back to the potato trainer? Or do we up it and go for the Missouri? Don't try to weasel you out. I'm sorry, I'm a Twitch streamer. Weaseling is a required professional skill. Although I totally meant our team. Yes, I mean, we had a battleship in the cap circle, we had numerical superiority, we had a 150 point advantage, we were several ships up, and their carrier was legging it and the enemy carrier had lost a good chunk of its bombers to my flak. I mean, how could that possibly go wrong? And oh god, I'm dooming it even further, aren't I? Okay, tier 9 or tier 6, guys. Which way do we go? We've got time for 2 more battles, I think. 9 or 6. We can... I'll leave it open to the stream which way the next one goes. Tier 9. Okay, so we have 1 vote for tier 9. Tier 9, that's 2 votes to 9. Okay, loading the Trumpwagen. And yes, she has mods installed, and she does have artillery plotting room, although, again, as I could install the plotting room upgrade as well, but I don't see the point on a range of 23 kilometers. Let's face it, if I can't shoot straight at 20, there's no point adding the extra range, is there? So, that's that. Right. 1 moneymaker loaded and ready to go. An Iowa and a Yugamo. Hello, Stunt. You're coming on the tail end of me trying to learn how to shoot. It's been a cavalcade of disaster and idiocy so far. Luckily, I have Graf and Dach basically carrying my inept backside. But I will learn how to freedom. That is the whole point of this evening. Even if I do have to keep verbally doing the maths. I mean, this is the equivalent of moving your lips while you read in this game. And, yep, the curse of the stream strikes again. Yay! Still, the cruiser layout could be worse. Of course, it probably couldn't be much worse. I mean, our principal radar ship is, well, me. And the enemy's principal radar ships are the Desmemes and the Donskoy. Thank you, KDK, for the follow. Right. So while Duck is, I don't know, plugging the jumper leads into a fresh potato, do we go A, B, or C? Graph, what's your choice? I am tempted to say A and just exploit the speed. Smash round and get a quick cap. Mostly because charging into B is inviting a massive, massive crossfire of torpedoes. Right, A it is then. Away we go, and I still say measure 22. Measure 22's got this certain minimalist pretty to it. It's a kind of attractive camo. I mean, you get more complex camos, you get things like, well, that, the US Premium, I believe that's measure 31. The Germans have got their own. Kutuzov's got hers, of course, that mixed, I believe, Black Sea camo. And, well, I just like measure 22. And hint to Wargaming, and I've said this several times, if they did a premium doubloons camo, measure 22 for, say, Atlanta, honestly, I'd probably buy it. If they did something like Prinz Eugen's Adlertag camo or the Tarnstrich that the Tirpitz gets, I would probably cough up the money for it. Just throwing that out there. I doubt anyone from Wargaming is actually listening. Anyhow, armor piercing loaded. What about that? What is that? Let me just pull up Imager and have a look at it. Yoink. And Lord dashboard. Actually, no, I need the Nightbot link, don't I? Nightbot. Yes, I am totally tabbed out and running this as I go. So log in with Twitch, set that, authorize that. Excuse me. Right, so dashboard spam protection. Right. I have just taken the link filtration off, Duck. Can you throw that link again, please? Well, it is work in progress. Yes, totally. Thank you for reminding me. You missed some maths. It was actually the last game was some Massachusetts. So that's why the work in progress tag was armed up. Right, so that as camo. Let's just... There we go. That is... That almost looks like a grey and black variation on measure 22. Let me just tweak it out and pull it over so everyone on the stream can see it. And also, try not to get lewd with the cur first. Whoops. I totally wasn't distracted in looking at pictures of boats on the internet, honest. In fairness, that criticism was largely deserved. Anyhow, picture of cute boats. So this is the one Duck Graf was talking about. We'll just pull that in. Yeah, I could get behind that. I'm not sure which measure it is, but it's not bad. And since we've got point A capped, we're now in a good position to turn in and start catching some broadside battleships. Okay, so target easy mode, 27 knots, time of flight 11.8 seconds. Adjust essentially to 9.9, rounds out. Oh, Edinburgh, that was 11 kilometres, wasn't it? Oh, you fool. Well, the Izumo's turning defensive, so that's mostly going to miss. Came close, though. Of course, what I can do is just close down the range, and, well, I have radar. And we have a lost position marker, so run that down to 10 kilometers. I would so like to have the radar range markers. I believe those are coming up in a future patch. However, just close the range down. Okay, we'll have a marker on range because those torpedoes top out at 10. So, if the torpedoes run out... Okay, we are inside 9. Right, we should be good. Angling guns, radar on target in approximately 10 seconds. Correction, radar on target in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Radar out. Hello, cutie.
Torpedoes to port.
4 overpens. What is it with me and apparently certain shots? Target backing up hard. Stern turret out. Tactical beach. 2 more overpens. Oh well, he's dead. I'll take it. Let's see. That Donskoy, no. The Hindenburg's out of range. Could bully a broadside, well, more or less broadside turbines, but he's turning to angle up. Let's wreck a DM. Right, so targeted angle, approximately 30 degrees, doing 35 knots, time of flight 10 seconds. Screw it. I'll try and work that out in more detail. Ouch! Later. And rounds came down God knows where. Still, forced him to evade. Okay, back it up. Try not to elude the cruiser. Bonjour, mademoiselle. I don't know why you stopped there, but it was not a good choice. Okay, right. We have a bow on Charlie that's being pursued by a Kagero. That's probably the best target we're going to get. There's also the Montana, the Tirpitz. DM is still broadsiding. Let's see. Time of flight 11 seconds, 35 knots. Give about 12 notches of lead and rounds out. Right. Can I get Charlie? The good news. Oh, should have held my fire on the DM. Rounds coming down. Then again... Yeah, I should have held my fire on the DM. Aimed a little long. Getting better at that calculation. But not so good at situational awareness and actually anticipating where the goals... Oh, wait. Radar is live now. Ah! Thank you, Stunt. This is what I get for not paying attention to patch notes. Hello! Oh, we're going to have so much fun. The curse of overpen strikes, although... Okay, the Charlie is running. The Tirpitz is probably dead. Lock onto Montana. Okay, Montana, you know the drill by now, ladies and gentlemen. Target approximately 32 knots on the Montana. Time of flight 8.6 seconds. Estimate for 8 notches. Rounds out. Oh, that Missouri's getting ideas. Rounds coming down. Oh, nice solid centre mass hit. Staying angled as best I can, but we've got multiple battleships to take out here. Missouri pretty much bow on. I need to angle enough to him to deflect his shells without actually going full broadside to, say, a DM and a Montana, and I don't think I can pull the trick, so that DM needs to go. Okay, target angle of aspect approximately 30 degrees, and going bow in. He's realised I'm looking at him. Fine, switch to the Montana instead. 30 knots, perpendicular broadside. Time of flight 7 seconds. Adjust to approximately 7.5. Rounds out, waterline shot. Pop defensive. Heals, repair party come down, rounds coming down, and 6,000. Didn't quite send to mass, but revenge is going. Right. Okay, Yuzral at 1003. I am on fire. Okay, just snapshot the DM with the stern battery. And stay angled on the battleships, because at least now they're tightening up. Ooh, clip that DM, he's thinking better of it. And now he's turning away. Rudder committed. Rounds out. Is this going to work? No. Not even slightly. And I am still on fire. And that DM does not care about my angling. He is simply pounding me into the dust. Ouch. Okay. Smoke is unlikely to help in this circumstance, except by buying me some time to break contact and repair. That said, that would be welcome. Dark, if you could do something. Okay. Out. 20 seconds to repair party. Okay, right. Thank you, Dark. Lifesaver. Of course, the other Missouri is going to be able to make a shot. And the DM, well, they know where I am, so I need to reposition and turn. 4 seconds to repair. I need to break their range estimates pretty sharpish. Ooh, congratulations, whoever got that shot. Very, very nice shooting both Grey Serpent and, well, I'm not sure who bagged the other one, but it was pretty decent. Unfortunately, Missouri is now closing to radar range, so don't want to spook him, but neither do I want to spook anything else. And the moment I pull the trigger, he is going to have a lock. Right, so 2 torpedo hits. Can't overmatch, so bow shot is good. There's the radar lock. Target closing. Armugi near 0 movement. Bounce the worst of it. Target Z23. Target 35 knots. Pop that heel. And shit. He just torpedoed the smoke. As you say, at least I have the radar range indicator now. I didn't think that was coming into the next battle, honestly. But again, 48,000 damage. My accuracy's improving slowly, but still nowhere near where it ought to be. And of course, my position just sucks for most of that battle. So, the Massachusetts should be off cooldown. I'll have to pop the work in progress sign back on. But at least we're winning. Yay. Maybe. Possibly. That torpedo launch was a little risky, wasn't it? Not sure who fired that one. Twin launch, it was the gearing. Yeah, optimistic ain't the word there. Oh well, just bully a Hindenburg. Which just leaves the 3 guys from Iowa who are... well, they're basically carrying this, aren't they? Dark, watch out for the gearing. You're about to go right in front of his fire lane.
Our victory is in sight.
Oh, luckily he died first. I think he would have... oops. Well, look at it this way. At least you're not tense anymore.
Our victory is in sight.
I suppose... Ranger... It happens. I mean, I've done that myself rather embarrassingly. Admittedly, I was panicked and had several alarms going off in my ears, but I had an occasion where I actually did that in a Shimikaze and team killed a Gearing by accident, so I can buy that explanation. And yes, he wanted to farm the Monty, but at the same time, you can point at Dark and point out that sailing in front of someone else's guns at that range, if he did accidentally pull the trigger, he was going to TK you. So, yeah, his fault for pulling the trigger even accidentally. ND, leading negligent discharge, they'd call that, but at the same time, any range officer would scream at you the moment it looked like you were going to step in front of someone's weapon. So it's not quite clear cut as the game would have it there. Also, something is capturing A, which is a little bit surprising. Right, anyhow, we're all dead, so I think we can go back and test my prediction skills. Only 100k damage. Only 100k, Graph. I'm happy if I break 60, so I is potato. Barely over the... Oh, right, okay, well, fine, okay. There you are, we won in the Massachusetts. I told you they had it in the bag. Speaking of which, I think that's what we're going to finish on. Let's grab the big mammy, flick on the work in progress sign once again, and it's back to doing math practice, isn't it? I have a rep to uphold in Yugumo. Fair enough. She is a nice destroyer. Okay, let us rock and or roll. Oh, I've got 2 points I can put into Stephen. I'm going to save it. I really, really need to get basic firing training on this guy, or possibly advanced firing training, one or t'other. They both work out as the same DPS increase. I'll admit advanced would be more useful because of the extra engagement range. Yes, it's an anti-air build, why do you ask? However, Shokaku and Massachusetts. Dak, did you load defensive fire? Ah, well, you have to have targets to uphold. I mean, here's me trying to improve my gunnery rate. Why did I choose manual AA over AFT? Because of the assumption that big, dumb, stupid aircraft carriers and small, fast, stupid planes would be trying to get close anyway. And manual AA doubles the effectiveness of the 5-inch guns. So that is a fairly significant increase to DPS. And why did it have to be tiers of the cruisers? Guards. Okay, fine. So my figuring is that the DPS increase off the manual anti-air outweighed the range increase of the outweighed the range increase and therefore the engagement time increase of the advanced firing training. I remember my words in the end, and we have another Missouri behind us. Yay! Hello, Lord WC. Let's hope you're better at this than I am. This is not by any chance... The boss is bullying you. Yes, I know it's bullying you. It's, I'm just going to disable pretty much everything except the blacklist. I'll go back and configure that properly later. There you are. Bot is now in no bully mode. Just to get the 40mm out to 5km. I know, but the thing is, 20% range increase works out as 20% engagement time increase, works out as 20% increased damage overall. So you can go back and forth on it. If you've got most of your flak in heavy guns, and the US battleships tend to, then I tend to regard manual anti-air as being more useful. The range advantage, of course, is that you have more flexibility. in your cover patterns and how you can protect other people. So you can argue it both ways, and we're running up on the North Carolina and something just detected me, so I'm guessing they've got a destroyer on point. Right, so North Carolina, bad angle, target will bounce armor piercing at that range. And engagement. Okay. Okay, gearing's been spotted at A. Missouri in targeted. New Orleans targeted but bow on. North Carolina is turning broadside to engage. Just maintain that for a second. Cut to 3/4 power. Okay. Maths time. Target North Carolina. Top speed 27 knots. Target is turning. Target New Orleans bow. Oh, never mind. New Orleans broadside. Target speed indeterminate. Rounds out. Shotgun that one. I think, my friend, you have just made the last mistake of this game. Okay, you got away with it. You may not have gotten away with my comrade's next salvo, but... Oh. Duck? Torpedoes? You want to finish him, or do we get the privilege? Fine. I think that is one thoroughly bullied cruiser. And rounds down. Yoink. And I don't get first blood because this is a test ship. Okay, no point firing North Carolina. He's had it. Graf. Your kill. And then turn to the right. Just start closing down. Lock on that Cat 5. Now this is a situation, yeah, and advanced flying training would have had the advantage. The 5 inches would have been able to engage at the 7.2 to 6.8 kilometer range. Sorry, I need to go have a look at a mute list. Chat statuses, messages, timeouts. I think that may be because you got yourself muted so many times the bot yelled at you. I know, it's weird. I also have to watch out. Okay, full power. This thing, come on. Just get clear of that collision. Yes. I'm calculating things like that on the fly, but I'm using the equivalent of using my fingers when I'm working out lead on a gunnery target. I don't have gunnery target. Wait a second. Deep water torpedoes? What's their carrier? Oh, they've got the Yang. Right. Stunt. Get on your friend and tell him not to bully our... Oh, never mind. Well. The Yang, one of the very, very much in super test Pan-Asian destroyers. That is a Alan M. Sumner class. Yes, I noticed. And hello, Jello70. I assure you I'm not normally this much of a potato, but I'm very deliberately using manual calculations for shooting. Just trying to get it into my head. Okay, and Fenley, thank you for the host. You're so lucky you haven't seen my carrier gameplay of late. Right, target Hindenburg. Target approximately 34 knots. Time of flight, 13 seconds. Aim out to 14 seconds. Range and target marked. Rounds out. This could be ludicrously inaccurate. Especially since the Hindenburg is also manoeuvring. And okay, yeah, anything much past, I think, 10 seconds flight time, and you start breaking some of the approximations inherent in the trig on this. Then again, it shouldn't, because you're using a point solution, the target center mass, and its radial velocity. And these sights are essentially subtending fixed angles, so the trig shouldn't be breaking. But I think it starts to get a little dicey past 10 seconds of flight time. Of course, past 10 seconds of flight time, any kind of accuracy and gun aiming's a little dicey anyway, because the target's got 10 seconds to slam on the rudder. Okay. But Cruel, that argument that a net range increase is 40% time, well, that also goes for all the other anti-air boosts as well. As you point out, they have to go in and out. So that 2D time factor applies to all the anti-air calculations. If you assume the targets come in to 0 range and then fire and just eyeball that one, not a hope of hitting, but, well, rounds not fired as doing 0 DPS. Okay, right, turn southwest. Okay. Yeah, those didn't have a hope of hitting, and I'm now in a bad position because, well, this would have worked if the battleships had been camping on the other side, but as it is, they aren't, so it's not a good position, and, oh, ouch. And we've just met deep water torpedoes. Hello, Armagi. Are you having fun yet? No, I didn't think so. Okay, right. Lock on Grozakur first. Bad target because of the angle, but he might turn port in a second. Target doing approximately 30 knots, 45 degrees angle. 1 over route 2. Ah, screw it. Okay, now I need him to be doing approximately correct, but I think he slowed down and stopped. Was good for line. Azura68, thank you for following. Hope you'll stick around. I'm trying to get better at US battleships. It is not necessarily working very well. Okay, Missouri. Target doing approximately... oh, almost a dead stop, actually. Okay, and you know what? Up about. Fire. And you also miss every shot you don't have, so... oh, clicked him twice. Okay, target is turning away. Let's lock onto that Hindenburg instead. He's in a hard turn. Target will come out of that turn at approximately 15 knots. Time of flight 7 seconds. He'll be accelerating. So give him approximately 30 knots equivalent lead. Rounds out. Depends on whether or not he keeps that turn going, of course, which is not necessarily a sure thing, but this looks very promising. 5 overpens. Well, strip 10,000 off him, so it's not all bad, and we appear to have their team well and truly bunched up. So if we can keep this pattern going... there he is! Right. This is where you wish you had the Missouri's anti-air. And yes, those are US 5-inch guns on that thing. The Yeyang is a modified, well, barely modified Allen M. Sumner class destroyer. So it started out in US service. Alright, also... oh, nice try. So... did those shells just come through that? Oh, never mind. We'll chalk that one up to lag. Okay. Right, target Missouri. I think pop a repair party, contain that fire. Just get rid of him. Got it. Right, okay. Next target, Tirpitz, close range. This is going to get brutal thanks to those secondaries. Also, torpedoes. Right. Target, 34 knots, high angle, approximately 30 degrees turning broadside. Time of flight, 3 seconds. Estimated lead, 4 seconds worth. Target hit midship, 7,000 damage. Also control those fires. Now that's a little more burny than I wanted to take. Right, lock target Hindenburg, no shot. Need to keep denying the Tirpitz as long as possible. Hindenburg is down. Tirpitz is about to go down. Graph, thank you. Now, which just leaves the small problem of the Allen M. Sumner over on the other side. Right. Okay, come on, little... actually, I can just pop a spotter and catch him this way. Okay. Target is going to rabbit. No, he isn't. Target is not interested in rabbiting. Target is very definitely unrabbited. However, hello USS Adidas. I don't think they're naming anything after sports gear just yet. And certainly not Ethiopian cities? Addis Ababa? No, different thing entirely. Okay, this will be interesting. Neither one of us wants to come round that island to start with. However, hello, flak. Also, hello, airdrop torpedoes. Get those guns going, guys. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, good old America. There we go. Freedom! And the Tashkent finishes the job. Which leaves one Shokaku and one Kurfürst. Well, we can get some cheap damage farmed on the Kurfürst, if nothing else. Pop a repair party, get that damage healed back from the fire. Okay, 4,000 damage off 6 hits. Are you kidding me? Oh well, let's just roll it forwards. Maybe we can farm the Shokaku a little. Or maybe... Nah, we're not going to run out of points or time anytime soon. Okay, target Grosukur first. Change of plan. Target Shokaku. Target is approximately for 30 degrees off. Is doing 34 knots. Time of flight 10 seconds. Estimated horizontal correction 8 seconds. Adjust for range. Rounds out. Rounds are in flight. Dispersion is sodding awful. Rounds coming down. Yep, 13,000. I'll take it. Yoink. Yeah. Definitely getting better at that maths, but needs a ton more practice. Or you just eyeball it, draw a line along the line of vector, gives approximately a mile's worth of lead. Fire everything. Shokaku's not really armoured, shouldn't have a serious problem with bounces there. Wait for it. Rounds coming down onto the deck. 3 regular pens. Only 2,500 damp? No, I suppose it could be saturation. I mean, it's taken a fair old beating. Oh, there goes the curry versed. Can I bag myself a last couple of shots off the Shokaku? Aim again. 1, 2, and 3. Final shots away, but I think the Tashkent's rounds are going to beat me there. And yeah, he burned. So... Okay, not brilliant, but 2 kills, 62,000 damage. Potatoing, perhaps, well... Hello, British Cruiser. Thank you very much. Well, slightly less potato than I was at the start of the stream. Starting to get the hang of that maths to do the gun sight. And yes, I am aiming by doing the kind of counting my fingers to aim, which is slightly better than pointing the guns in their general direction, pulling the trigger and praying to the random number god, but not by much. At least there's some science going into this aiming. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been going for just over 2.5 hours. I am going to call the stream here. Thank you very much to Graf Ferdinand and Dark Fritier for putting up and supporting my potato backside through all of these maths lessons. Thank you all for coming and watching. My apologies to the 58 viewers who just tuned in thanks to an auto-host right as the stream ended. That is unfortunate to say the least. Normal stream times for me are now 7 PM Universal Coordinated until approximately 9 to half 9 on Monday evening. That tends to be World of Warships. And pretty much the same on a Friday evening, 7 PM Universal Coordinated. And no torpedo guy. Also, I am 3,000 XP short of a container and another test. But if you have liked the little you've seen, then follow me. Twitch is twitch.tv/Yuzral, youtube.com/Yuzral for videos that take more time and a bit more thought. And if you're interested in ramblings, thoughts, sarcasm, and occasional useful announcements, then my Twitter is @Yuzral. Follow me over there. 50 Restless Fire camo could be considerably worse. Super container, yeah. Okay. Congratulations, Dak. At least someone had the streamer luck tonight. Until next time, however, ladies and gentlemen, farewell.